Ariana here, Hot Chakra Tarot. So I flipped over the cards and I'm really liking the energy here. I feel like there's a lot of like heart healing, heart activations that are linked to opening up the heart, the throat, third eye and crown. Like a lot of passages opening up and like connecting deeply. And what I sense here is that there's a decision that needs to be made that perhaps you've been like avoiding, neglecting. And the message is like follow your instinct on what this decision needs to be. Like I know it's difficult to hear like you have the answers within, but you do have the answers within. And this is very beautiful here. I feel that because of this indecision, there's been like an inner battle in you. But you're like very much a warrior. So while there's inner battle within you, sometimes that inner battle comes out in your outer world as well. But I feel like you've been doing a very good job in like fighting the good fight, so to speak. But the message is like follow your instinct on what that decision needs to be, because it needs to be made. It's like plain and simple, right? Like follow your instinct. And the fact that it resembles this white wolf and the moon is always about intuition, right? And the white wolf here is, you know, wolves howl at the moon. I don't know if you like to howl at a full moon, but me and my girls, my kiddos, we howl at the full moon. Just something fun for us. Plus for me, it has significance. It's like kind of like a shout out, literally a shout out to the moon. So it's saying like follow your instincts, follow your intuition. Let your intuition guide you. Just as how a wolf howls at the moon and is touched by the moon, like be touched by your intuition. Let it guide you. And once this decision is made, it'll open up so much abundance, so much connection, not just the majority of this is connection to source. So your higher self connecting to, you connecting to your higher self, you connecting to source, God, Goddess, the divine. But it's also going to bring in so much happiness into your like relationships, your relationships with your partner, your relationship with your family, with your kids, specifically with your partner and with your children. But again, there's so much happening like once that decision is made. And it's really going to amplify, I should say. It's really going to amplify your connection. Because we have a card here that talks about believing in yourself and that God is working through you. So you have this probably upset in your stomach because of that indecision. But be guided by the fact that God has your back, the universe has your back, and is working through you. So even though this decision may not appear to be an easy one, or you may feel like you don't really know, you're uncertain, unsure of yourself. It's like deep down, like if you take moments to quiet your mind, like the answers flow, right? Your body tells you the way it feels, or you receive messages when you're still. So be still so that you can have that confidence in your decision. And then part of what I'm seeing here too is maybe the decision for some of you is based on like what to do with the relationship. Maybe you're seeing like we're fighting too many battles. I don't know what to do. Is it a move forward thing or a back off relationship? But what I'm seeing here, for those of you who are coming at it, you know, from that angle, who the decision is based on a relationship, what I see here is that this relationship has a long lifeline. So you've been with this individual for a very long time. So is it a deep spiritual connection? Yes. Does it have the possibility of continuing to grow beautifully? Yes. But because it's such a deep, long spiritual connection, you might feel like it really like gets to you, right? When things aren't good, like it really gets to you. But when things are good, things are really good. So I feel like this connection is a beautiful connection if you are both in your alignment, and if you're both feeding into your spiritual connection, if you're both first and foremost making sure you're connecting. If not, then it's going to be very very challenging. But again, this is a very long connection. You have a long history with this person. But I think, sorry, that's my guinea pig. Cake pop. But I feel like the way the universe works is sometimes we feel it's people that need to be removed. But in actuality, it's certain cycles within ourselves. And at times we might think, well, I'll just leave this relationship and I'll start a new relationship and it'll be fine. But then we start seeing the same patterns re-emerging because it wasn't necessarily the partner, but it was what patterns within ourselves are we neglecting to identify and resolve. So the reason I feel that this relationship, you might even at times think, I'm done with it. But it's really asking, and it kind of feels, and I know what, some people don't like to use the word twin flame, but it feels very twin flamey. And those aren't always easy relationships to have, especially, and I know there's hesitation to say twin flame because we're all looking for love, right? Whether you like to admit it or not, we're all looking for love. But we forget that love starts here, right? Since God is love, first and foremost, love needs to bloom here. And because we don't necessarily tend to ourselves, it tends to come out in our relationships with others. So yes, while this relationship has the ability to be this beautiful connection, and it's been a long connection, and I don't know how it's been in other lifetimes. Maybe this is a lifetime where you're choosing to get it right, or whether this is a lifetime where you're both at a different, higher evolution. But before you start thinking about, oh, it's, if they're out of the picture, everything's perfect, like be very reflective with yourself and be real with yourself and ask yourself, like, what is it? What patterns do I need to look at? Because what I'm seeing here is like so much support, so much beauty for you. And a part of that is through this connection, because I feel like both of you are very strong, powerful spiritual beings. And there's so much potential that can unfold if, and that's the caveat, right? If you're both good. If your connection to source, to yourself is good, your connection to each other is going to be good as well. And once that happens, it's like, wow, like there's so much ability, magic, power behind you and your partner that you really have a strong calling. Of course, you have a strong calling individually, but this is such a special connection that you have such a strong calling as a partnership as well. So some of you might feel tied to the Pleiadians, because I feel like some of you are that type of starseed. But again, like you've been battling something and you're not really following your instinct on it. And once you follow your instinct, as well as being reflective on what patterns would benefit you in breaking, it would give you the confidence, and it would really unfold this beautiful magic and a lot of upliftment in you, upliftment in your connection with your partner, as well as the ability to uplift and expand your consciousness together, expanding your consciousness and helping others expand theirs. Like there's so much like this double mission that I see for you and your partner, and it's beautiful. And again, the energy that I see here is one that's first and foremost moving here up. I know there's a bit of, I mentioned instinct, and that's solar, but I feel like your solar is, it's for the most part feels good, but what I really see activating is like, right? Once you trust the instinct, the intuition, it's like everything else is gonna be activated. I don't know if you've ever had a moment where your chakras are opening up, and it, to me, at one point, I remember it was a year or two ago, it felt like buttons turning on, and then I was shot out into this rainbow. I was in this rainbow tunnel. It was beautiful, but it sounded like you're turning on a motor. Sorry, that's my guinea pig. I hope you can hear that. You need water? Okay. We'll get you some, don't worry. Yeah, I think he was throwing a fit because his water bottle's empty. But I'll get to it as soon as I'm done here. So again, there's a lot of opening up of your energy centers. And with that, it's because you have a really important purpose, a really important spiritual mission here. So because more light is trying to come in, it's bringing out things that you don't need, right? It's like throwing out this, throwing out that, like spring cleaning, right? And that's making you feel feelings, or bringing up things that you haven't necessarily dealt with. And a lot of it has to do with your relationship, to the point where it's making you question, should I leave? Should I stay? But this is such a very deep spiritual relationship that has a lot of ability, but you kind of have to get yourself right too. This is all I see. I think I got a little distracted with my guinea pig. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope this resonates with you. Have a good day. Thank you.